Well, hello everyone. This is Remora DFC, and today I'm going to be diving into one of my favorite games for a little bit and see how we go. I've been playing Satisfactory for ages. It's one of my most loved games, and hopefully those of you that are along for the ride here will will capture a bit of the magic along with me. So I'm going to start a new save on this one, and we're going to do a little bit of a new player friendly kind of start to the game. The intent being for me now with my several thousand hours of game time to hopefully easily explain a couple of neat little tips and tricks and whatever, and without too much spoiler, but just kind of like friendly teaching people as they go along, so it's not so overwhelming, or maybe help mitigate a little bit of the early game, spaghetti mess and whatnot. I mean, it's unavoidable. I mean, my early game, I still spaghetti the hell out of things, but just to kind of have like a new player friendly. So with that in mind, we're gonna go with a new game. We're doing this new player in mind, so we're gonna go with their recommended, ideal for first-time pioneers. So this biome here, the first one, the grass fields, has an abundance of resources, a lot of flat spaces to build on, and generally is pretty safe. There are a couple of hazardous creatures, but by and far it is pretty safe. There's no spiders or other mid to late game hazards. No. I mean, unless you go out of your way, you won't really encounter radiation and whatever. So yeah, it's pretty safe. Great starter, which is ideal for pioneers, first-time pioneers. But if you're more comfortable, you can move on to the other choices. But again, first time, we're going to go with this one. I'm not going to skip the intro because we're going to go right with the onboarding. And we're going to do this as, you know what, let's just be blatant with this. Let's play tutorial series. Start game. Are you sure? Yes, I am. So, I've got my cup of coffee.
Separation from main transport complete. Group 8 delivered to Calistian region. All pioneers functional, initiating dispersion. Attention pioneer, I am Ada, your personal instance of the artificial directory and assistant. Welcome to the Fixit Incorporated Save the Day program. A Fixit pioneer has 3 core assignments. Construct. All pioneers must follow Fixit guidelines and instructions when constructing any building. Automate. Every pioneer is responsible for setting up and managing efficient pipelines, outposts, and power infrastructure. Explore and exploit. Fixit selected planets are rich with resources suitable for direct use or further investigation. Stay within your designated. And that is why the world is counting on pioneers like you. Fixit. Short-term solutions to long-term problems. Initiating planetfall. Atmospheric entry in 3, 2, 1. Beginning aero assist. Drag within acceptable parameters. Descent phase begun. Decelerating. Deploying parachute. Deploying backup parachute. Skipping parachute. Landing phase begun. Activating retro propulsion. Touchdown. Planetfall complete. Drop pod integrity nominal. Omni-situational exploration suit nominal. Pioneer. Acceptable. Congratulations, you are the third in your region to survive planetfall. Welcome to Massage 2, AB-B, in the binary system of Akicha. Loading objective-based introduction. Begin onboarding. First contact safety tool supplied due to presence of alien megafauna. Adhere to Fix-It procedure and equip the Fix-It Inc. Xeno Zapper before leaving the drop zone.
Alrighty, so we're just going to bash through these beginner tutorial tips. So she's going to both verbally, Ada is going to both verbally tell you what to do, and also you're going to have at the top left the pop-up tooltip there telling you how to play. These are the basic control functions, and you also get a reminder at the very bottom right. So at the moment you see at the bottom right we have Tab, B, and H. So Tab being what they're telling us right now to do to open up our inventory, B is flashlight, and H is to put away into your pocket anything you're holding in your hand. You know, if you just don't want to see you holding your tool in your hand, you can press H and it puts it away. So we're going to get more tooltips at the bottom right as we go through this this onboarding process, right? So it's going through the tutorial. Right now we've got 3 revealed at the moment. So again, flashlight, you know, H to put things away, but I don't have anything in my hand at the moment, and Tab to equip items into our Pioneer.
Next objective, dismantle the drop pod. Fix-It incorporated as cost-effective and efficient. We do not waste. The drop pod will be recycled to construct the first stage of the habitat and utility base, often referred to as the hub.
So again, H puts it away. You can press H again to take it out, or you can just use your mouse wheel. Yep, there's just, it doesn't change anything, any of the behavior, right? You just, if you just don't want to like run around with it in your hand, you can just put it away, and now you run normally and you see your hands. That's all it is. Personal choice. So yeah, F to disassemble. And you hold to disassemble items individually. There's a whole bunch of other options down at the bottom, including the mass disassemble. So if there's more than one item you want to remove, you can hold down the left control and you can queue up to 50 items to disassemble, and then when you complete the hold down to disassemble, all those 50 items will be removed. Up to 50 items will be removed all at once.
Next objective, use the resource scanner to find and collect additional iron to be able to build the hub. If you cannot find iron, be assured scans of the planet have revealed sufficient iron sources.
Alright, so she wants us to scan for iron and then go towards some iron. So, hold the V button, and again, it brought up the icon at the bottom right, as well as it's in the tooltip at the top left. So this will be populated by all the various things we could scan for as we progress through the game. At the moment, iron is our only choice. Compass is at the top of the screen. Alrighty. So these are all the iron nodes in the kilometer-esque vicinity of our immediate spot. So I'm going to head towards that direction over there, towards these ones right here, those 350 ones, because I've already pre-chosen in my mind where I want to build. But you can build anywhere you want. You can build right here, you can build over there, wherever you want. I just know where I want to build. On the way there, I'm going to be picking up some collectible materials, like leaves and berries and whatnot. Just press E. So as you move, you just can pick up. Sometimes she has things to say.
Potential edible collected. If consumed before authorized as compatible with the human digestive system by Fix-It, the consumer is responsible for any and all consequences. Store this potential resource for later use.
Alright, and that was the cue there. She said store this resource for potential later use. Now, we can eat it, right? And it says right in the pop-up, eat to restore 1 health segment. So this is our health bar at the bottom left. We have 10 segments, these white squares here. Alright, so as we take damage from various sources, these berries, the pale berry, will give us 1 full health. Now this is the barrel nut.
Potential edible collected. Eating it and surviving does not count as a valid field test and does not generate enough data for Fixit to make an informed decision. Store this potential resource for later use.
Alright, same thing, only this one, eat to restore half a health segment. So, the pale berry is 1 full segment. The barrel nut is a portion of a health segment. Okay? And it's just drag it into your hand and just nom nom nom. I'm not going to waste it right now. Now sometimes you'll come across these resource nodes that are just isolated. So these are just small piles of whatever it is. So this one will be some raw quartz, which I'm going to collect. It is not a mineable node, so you can't put like a mining structure on it. I'll show you those shortly. But these are just a little chunk of whatever that resource is. So over there's some sulfur, over there's some iron, and there's stuff all over the place. So I'm going to grab this because it's going to queue her up to talk about quartz.
Unknown crystalline mineral collected. This mineral is composed of the same chemical elements as quartz and may yield similar industrial functions. Store this potential resource for later use.
Same thing with sulfur.
Unknown chemical element collected. This non-metallic and multivalent element seems to be present only in a solid state and exhibits a most pungent smell. It is fortunate Fixit helmets are of such high quality. Store this potential resource for later use.
Oh, some coal. So we'll need coal with the sulfur combined to make gunpowder later. Alrighty. Some limestone. More coal over here. Now I don't need these right away. I'm just using my meta knowledge. I'm just saving up. More quartz. Gonna definitely want more quartz. So you hold shift to sprint, right? And you can obviously press spacebar to jump. C is crouch. And if you do a sprinting jump crouch, so you sprint, then you jump, and then when you're about to land, you press C to crouch, you'll slide. And that's a way to actually like bunny hop and move faster. So sprint, jump, press C, slide. And you can just repeat. And you can move a lot faster. We'll come back to the copper when we need to.
Next objective. Use the build gun to construct the hub. Iron is a base component necessary for all near-future progress, so ensure you build the hub close to iron sources. Fixit does not pay by the kilometer.
Alright, there's our first enemy. These guys are really easy. Right? Just hop to get out of the way. Or you can, you know... Just whatever, just get out of the way. And you zap them. Come on, get over here. Zap, zap. Hello.
Samples of new alien species acquired. Notable features are blunt teeth, suggesting it is herbivorous, and a thickly plated skull and spine, suggesting it is proficient at inflicting and receiving blunt force trauma. Preserve the remains for later study.
Alright, so where his body was, anytime you kill a... I don't want to say all creatures, most creatures, specifically the dangerous ones, they'll leave behind remains. So that was a hog creature type, and it leaves hog remains behind. Used for MAM research, so we'll encounter that later when we have access to the MAM. So back to our main objectives. Now this is the spot where I wanted to build because it's nice and flat, and it's got 1, 2, 3 iron nodes. Remember scan? All right, iron right here, and these are all normal nodes. So ore nodes like these come in 3 types. There's impure, normal, and pure. So normal is normal. So think of it like a 1.0 ratio, right? So if I were to mine by hand, I would get, I believe it's 2. Right? So see at the left it says +2 iron ore. So an impure is half. You would get 1. Pure would be, I want to say double, but I think it's 1.5. When we encounter a pure, we'll know for sure. But I just don't remember off the top of my head right now. So just think of it along those lines. So that's what the normal, impure, and pure is its purity. So how much you're going to get out of it. So when we start building miners on it, so the Mark 1 auto miner on an impure node would give us 30 iron. On a normal node would give us 60, and on a pure 90? It's either 90 or 120, but the point is it's more. So, and then that scales. So, more of that later. But yeah, so here we got 3 iron nodes. Perfect. Plus we got a limestone right over there. We've got a limestone right over there. And we got a copper right up there. Now we haven't gotten into those yet, but we will shortly. But the point is we have iron, copper, and limestone right here on a nice flat spot. Perfect for beginners. And here's where I'm going to start my alpha spaghetti base. So they want us to build our hab. It's our hub. So tab, or correction, not tab, Q, to open up our build menu. And again, it's reminded at the bottom right, Q button. And here it'll be broken down into sub-menus. At the moment we don't have all those choices yet. But hub. And just wherever you want. Mouse wheel to rotate. Just move your cursor around wherever you want it. And there's a whole bunch of options along the bottom left. Or correction, not the bottom left, just the bottom center. But by and far... And you can move it, so don't think this is permanent. You get 100% refund on your materials. So don't be afraid to place it. You don't like it, you disassemble and move it. Go right ahead. So I am just gonna... Sure.
Hub foundation built. The hub terminal and crafting bench are only the humble beginnings of a successful Fix-It pioneer, but essential for the next steps of onboarding. Once finished, the hub will function as your base of operations. Next objective, complete hub upgrade 1.
Alrighty, so this will get built up as we proceed. It starts with a crafting bench, so if you noticed under Q, we have a crafting bench. This crafting bench that you can build individually is exactly this. So it just allows you to craft higher and higher tier manufactured resources wherever you want in the world, but your hub automatically comes with one. That's all this is here. It just allows you to like turn iron ore into iron ingots, and then you can turn iron ingots into iron plates and iron rods, and more and more and more. So that's what the crafting table does, or crafting bench, sorry. And over here is the unique one of your hab, the hub terminal, and this is where you do all your tech progression. So at the moment, because we're doing the tutorial, we're in tier 0. So it's going to be hub upgrade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then once we finish all that, then we'll start moving into phase 1, 2, and so on as we get the game going forward. So right now the mission is literally telling us, you know, at the left, right, to open it and to pick the next one, and then make all the rods and whatever is necessary, right? So as we research this, completing it will unlock these 3 items, and this is the cost to complete. All right, so you select whatever you want. When you have more than one choice, player's choice, select it, and then from here we can move the items into the cost and then upgrade it when we have them. Right now we don't because it's tutorial teaching us. Go to the crafting bench, and we need 10 rods as we saw before, and for 10 rods, 10 of these, we need 10 iron ingots. So we need to make iron ingots. Now I'm just going to make all of them into iron ingots because we're going to need more and more. So the 62 iron ore that I have in my pocket right here, I'm going to convert all of it into ingots. Now you can left-click mouse and hold, right? Tapping doesn't do anything, you have to hold it. Or you can just press spacebar and it'll automatically just do it, and you don't have to hold down the mouse button. So just spacebar one time, and now I can sip my coffee. Alright, it's just doing what it wants to do because we pressed spacebar right here, craft, spacebar. And done. So now we needed 10 iron rods, so I'm going to press spacebar, but I'm going to stop it once I reach 10. So you can stop it by pressing spacebar again. Oop, I forgot how quickly it goes. So I got 17. Oh well. Go over here. Now you can click and drag if you want, or you can double click up here and it'll give you like quick link to all the different materials that might be required. Concurrently, if there's a high cost, so like if this was like 500 and you had multiple stacks, you can hold control and left click and it'll send as much as possible up to what it's asking for. Alrighty, and then you click the upgrade button.
Hub Upgrade 1, Storage and Frame, completed. Equipment like the portable miner can now be made in the workshop. Congratulations on completing your first milestone, the first of many providing access to new recipes and technologies for the Fix-It mission. Next objective, complete Hub Upgrade 2.
Alrighty, so the frame is starting to fill out, and we just received our first personal storage box. So these are tiny storage. We don't yet have the ability to make more of these in the world, but we will later. We'll be able to make as many of these as we want. But these are just small storage. So here we can just drop off whatever junk we don't want. So usually I'll throw in all my my food and bio matter in here. Plus, since we're not going to need it for a while, I'm going to throw my coal and sulfur in there, as well as the quartz. And the meat pieces. So now we're just left with what I need right now. So we need to pick upgrade 2, and that'll unlock all these goodies once we provide it these materials here. Now just to remind, and you can click on previously completed stuff, so we got +1 hand equipment slot on our individual person, plus we got access to the equipment shop and portable miners, so we're going to do that. But first we're going to select the next milestone, so it gets added to the top right. And I want to build an equipment shop. Now you can see at the bottom it's cost. I don't have enough plates. So you can either just remember, it's like, oh, I need 6, and you just go deal with it. Or you can actually hit this handy add to to-do list at the top right of any item. And it'll make a to-do list here. And now that's pinned to your screen so you can always remember. Alright, and you can edit the to-do list at any time. So you can clear it, you can, maybe you want to make 3 of these or 4 of these. Alright, or no, you don't want to make that many, right? So you can edit this at any time. You can make public notes, private notes. You know, this is a tutorial. Right? So you could do anything you want here. So it's handy and it's on your screen. This is a tutorial, so you can have your own little notepad here on screen. But we need to make 6 plates. Now, the cost will change for things. So iron rods was 1 iron ingot equals 1 iron rod. Iron plate is 3 iron ingots produce 2 iron plates. All right, so we're going to need 6 iron plates. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So we're going to consume 9 of our iron ingots to make the minimum 6 we need. There we go. Press the space bar to stop. I'm just shift clicking. Am I? Oh, it was duper duper derp. Okay, I had a brain fart there for a second. So yes, the onboarding needed these materials. I was intending to build the equipment workshop. Okay, let's make more. My brain stopped working for a second. It happens. There we go. Now let's make the equipment workshop. So again, mouse wheel to rotate. Move your cursor around wherever you want it. Red you can't build. Sometimes you'll see yellow. I don't know if I can trigger it here. Yellow just means, so you see the white box around the object? So yellow means that you're clipping inside the box, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the solid part of the structure is clipping inside. It just means that the white box is clipping. We'll show that later when I can properly, but that's the 3 colors, red, blue, and yellow. So I like to place it about here because I can run through and come on in without having to jump up and down. Just kind of a, I don't know, handy in and out way. So the equipment workshop allows us to manufacture equipment, stuff you can use in your hands or wear on your person. At the moment, we have access to making more zappers, like the one we're holding in our hand, and portable miners, which we're going to want. So, if I had the materials, I could build it. I don't have them yet. Anything in any of these build menus, either here in the crafting bench or elsewhere, you can right-click, and it brings up this pop-up. You can add or remove to the to-do list. Right-click, add to to-do list. There we go. And you could add multiple, right? Just keep adding them from here, or go to edit, and again, you can just edit it from here, how many of them you want to make. Okay, so, again, these are 2 iron plates and 4 iron rods each. And these you carry in your hand and you place them on mine nodes, and they will fill up to 1 full stack of whatever that material is automatically without you having to mine by hand. So, there we go. That should be enough for 1. There we go. And remember, we got that +1 storage slot from completing the first upgrade. Put it in our second slot. I could put it in our first slot if I want, it doesn't matter. Mouse wheel to switch between them. Okay, and again, we have iron here, and iron over there, right? So I'm just going to drop it. Yeah. So cute. So it's auto mining up to 1 full stack. Saves me from having to do it by hand. And you don't have to wait till it's full. You can take these items, either drag and drop directly or just hit the grab all button. Concurrently, if you're looking to manage your inventory, I could drag stuff from my inventory into the miner. So we're going to grab that for now. I'm going to make more ingots. Alrighty. So we need 13 more rods up here, and 4 more plates, but we also need 10 plates for the 5 other miners I want, and 20 rods. So in total, I need 33. I need 33 rods. So let's get that going now. Okay, and I need 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 iron plates. Now, in brackets, it's showing me this 10. That means it's the maximum I can make because I only have 15 ingots, and it's 3 each. So I'm going to need more ingots, right? So I'm going to make what I can, which is enough for this, but I'm still short for 4. So I need at least 6 more ingots, right? So I need at least 6 more. 2, 4, 6. And there we go. So, you know what, first, let's dump all that in there. I'm not going to complete it yet. I just wanted to get it out of my inventory. And I'm hitting spacebar, and it's just going to auto-craft as many as possible. It's not going to do just the 5. It'll do as many as I have materials on hand. So if I had a lot more, it would just keep going. But because I have exactly the amount I wanted, it's only going to make the 5 I had queued. And now my to-do list is finished. I'm going to clear... close, split, transfer... Huh. Alright, let's edit to-do list, public note gone, clear list. There. I just wanted to get that, this is a tutorial, off my screen. Alright, let's do upgrade 2, which again, you can click on the milestone to remind us. It's going to give us all this stuff. So we're going to get a new scan resource for copper, which means we'll then be able to mine... Well, I mean, we can mine it now, but we'll be able to turn the copper ore into ingots, and then the ingots into wire, and then the wire into cable. And then the cables we can use for power lines. And we'll also gain access to the smelter, which is an automated structure to turn ore into ingots automatically with power.
Hub Upgrade 2, Power and Shell, completed. The smelter can turn raw ore such as copper and iron into ingots, and the biomass burner generates power when fueled. Fun fact, most of the native flora and fauna is compatible with Fixit technology. Fueling the biomass burner with inappropriate materials will result in deductions or even cancellation of your yearly bonus. Next objective, complete Hub Upgrade 3.
So, this is filling out more. We got walls now. And we just got access to our first biomass burner. This is exactly what you think it is. It's a burner for biomass. You put leaves and wood in here, it'll burn it and produce power. Now these are the basic ones. These are only going to produce 20 megawatts. And they consume leaves and wood and whatnot. Again, the walls started filling out a bit more around the structure. Alrighty. Yep, you're good. So, we're into copper now, and we also got access to... So there's a couple more tabs here, right? So we already had these ones. So power for the power line. I like my power line in menu 1. So you just hover over the object in your menu and you just press the hotkey button. There we go, 1. Now it's in 1. Right? Oh, you want it 4? 1? Right? Like it's how you move things around. For me, I like it in 1. Under production, at the moment, we have smelter. So we're going to want smelter. And you can see the cost on the to-do list. 5 iron rods and 8 copper wire. Oh, right. Scan now, when I hold V, I have 2 options. So scan for copper. And we'll see this some right here. Run over here. See, there's this nice, gentle slope right here. Right? Leading up to the copper right here. Some limestone here. I'm going to drop one of my miners here. Just get some limestone going. Alright, there's a hog here. So, let's take care of him. And as I mentioned before, drop the remains, pick them up. So, I'm going to drop copper miner there. Grab you. Okay, you're going to mine for me, and this is also a normal node. I have 25 on me. Gives 2 each. There we go. I grabbed it at an odd number, just so I had an even. And I also want to put a crafting bench up here, but I don't have the materials yet, so turn my flashlight off. Sun's coming up. You can take fall damage. You'll learn what height you can survive from without taking damage as you play. Berries will regrow. So the barrel nuts and these pale berries will regrow. Gonna put that away. Alrighty, I need some iron. Yeah. Let's grab all of them. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna put my other auto miner up here at this limestone node. And we're gonna clear this, get it out of the way. Okay, this one's an impure node. So this one will only give half or 1 limestone each. Alright. Alright, back to the main thing. So I want to put a crafting bench up there. Concurrently, I need to save up the materials in my to-do list to make the smelter. And then we also need to pick Hub Upgrade 3 to unlock all these, which will also cost more wire. So, let's start. Well, let's get these out of the way. Let's do the copper ingots. Okay, so I'm gonna teach and show a bit of a mid to advanced skill here for players that might not know. So, oh, they haven't given us to it yet. All right, pin in that. I was gonna teach the in-game calculator. All right, back to what we got going. So, we need a bunch of wire. So at the moment, I'm just gonna convert all my ingots into wire. Just do all of it. And then we're going to need... We don't need any cables. Well, I mean, we will to connect the smelter, but not for any production. Alright. Okay. So, we need 23 iron plates and 8 rods. We know rods are 1 ingot to 1 rod, and plates are 3 ingots to 2 plates. So we need 23, so let's round up 24. Divided by 3 is correction. Yeah, divided by 2 times 3. Right, so 24 divided by 2 is 12, times 3 is 36. We need 36 ingots to make the iron plates. That we need. And then we need rods. We need 8 of them. Alrighty. Now we still have a lot of iron ore to go through. We'll get to it. So at the moment, just to get it out of the way, I'm just going to drop smelter. Sure. Again, I'm going to rotate. Now notice there are an orange and green kind of squares with arrows. Now those are inputs and outputs for conveyor belts. We don't yet have conveyor belts, but we will. So you can add the smelter and other structures into a production line where resources get automatically fed in and production output automatically gets removed. And that's what that's for. So it's going to become more and more important, your layout, which way you set these, so it makes sense. So for the moment, I'm just going to place it here, partially because it gives me space to move here, but it's also covering up some of these rocks. So I'm just going to place it kind of here. So that's off my to-do list. We wanted a crafting bench up there, and we also wanted to give these... Oh yeah, I didn't make those yet. Well, just so I can get it out of my concern. There. I'm going to disassemble and move it. But now, we need more. Okay, 20 divided by 2 is 10, times 3 is 30. So we need 30 ingots for that, plus 20. So we need 50 ingots total. Less what we've already got. Because we've already got 21 and 1. Alright, that should be good. Alright, we already got enough plates. I need 20 of these. Alrighty. Okay, and again, this is going to give us access to a bunch of stuff. So, constructor is the next thing. It turns ingots and some other recipes, but for now we're going to use it to turn our ingots that are coming out of our smelter into finished goods like iron rods and iron plates and such. We also gain access to concrete, so we'll be able to turn that limestone that we can now scan into concrete. Concurrently, we're going to gain access to these 2 recipes and power poles. Power poles are literally what you think. They're like electrical poles in real life. That'll allow, as you can see at the bottom right pop-up tooltip, it says that the Mark 1 power pole allows 4 lines connected to it. Higher Mark 2s, 3s allow more. Screws can be made from rods, iron rods, and reinforced iron plates get made from screws and iron plates, if I remember the default recipe. So that's what we're unlocking.
Hub Upgrade 3, Interior Furnishing, completed. The constructor can produce simple parts, and power poles allow for the expansion of the power grid. When you make the inevitable mistake, Fix-It's dismantling feature is designed to salvage all resources used during construction, in line with our zero-waste policy. We understand that Fix-It pioneers are only human, and thus prone to error. Next objective, complete Hub Upgrade 4.
Alright, so now they allow us the O menu, which this will populate with more and more information as we go on. So the inbox is literally just a reminder of all the conversations that you have, so in case you forget or you just want to hear it again. Recipes is everything we've discovered so far. So it'll have more and more and more in the recipe list as we learn more. So at the moment, this is all we know. Equipment and parts. And you can click any of them and it'll show you your known recipes. Right? So parts, wire. This is one of 4 recipes to make wire. So three different alternate recipes are not yet known. But the default recipe that we do know is 1 copper ingot will produce 2 copper wire. And if we scroll down, what is copper wire used in? And at the moment, these are the 2 things we know we need it for. But there are other things we don't yet know that require wire. So this is a really handy way to like forward plan, you know, what you need and you want. And not on the objects directly, so not on these, but on the items within, you can right click on them and open in Codex, and it'll take you to that object. So if I'm looking at Xenozapper and I'm like, oh, I want to make a Xenozapper and I need these items, reinforced iron plate, and you see that recipe that pops up, needs plates and screws, but you can right click, go to open index, jumps right to it. All right, or just add it directly to the to-do list. All right, remove from to-do list. So a lot of handy features in here to help make your life so much easier. If you have an idea what you want to do, all right, like I know I want to make a constructor, so add to to-do list, done, it's on the list. Oh, but it needs these plates. Okay, well, let's go to the Codex entry, and I know I need 2, so add to to-do list. It added 1, added to-do list, added 2. Now I've got 2 of those. All right, so I've got this also queued on my to-do list on the right side. All right, reinforced iron plates 2, because I need 2 to build the constructor. So this is the full list of everything I need. Well, short of the cable. I mean, I could do the same thing with that too. So we could break it all the way down. Parts. Cable. We need 4 more cable. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You see the 4 was added there. Great. Opening Codex. So we broke it, and you can go even further down. You can go, you know, add the 8 wire, and then the 8 wire would say how many ingots it needs, and you can add as many ingots as you need. Like you can populate your to-do list all the way down to the level of ore, if you so choose. So right now we're just going to fill our shopping list, right? Because we want a constructor, which is going to need this stuff. So. Okay, that's all the cable I need for this list. We need I'm just going to make as much as I can. I'm going to need more ore converted. I'm just going to finish this small stack of 13, 12, 11. I'm just going to finish this up. There we go, move that out of the way. Since we're here now, I'm going to get rid of my limestone. I'm going to convert it into concrete. 3 limestone makes 1 concrete. I'm just going to make it all. Get that limestone out of my hands. Alrighty. So we need more plates. Okay, and we need screws. Screws are made from rods at a 1:4 ratio. We need 24, so that's 6. We need 6 rods at least. Okay. Now we're going to make our screws. Done and done. Alright. Now since I still have 12 ingots, I'm just going to make some more rods and iron plates just to get the ingots out of my hands. There we go, done and done. Oh, right, and the reinforced plates. Forgot to make them. Alright. That's our full list made. Now we can... I'm going to disassemble this. And I am going to build with Q, production, constructor. And I'm going to put this in front of the smelter so their outputs and the input of the constructor are lined up. So that eventually, when we have belts, we can feed one into the other. Alright? Now, you can hold control, and it'll automatically snap and create, see that moving rainbow line from green to orange? It'll automatically snap to align the inputs and outputs. Now, this also works side by side amongst similar things you're placing if you're building like more than one of something. We'll get to that. But for now, sure. Yeah, I can still move beside it. Looks good. And you have to tell them what to do. So you interact with smelter, say iron, because it's right next to my iron. Interact with the constructor, and all your known recipes. So this one will be iron plates. Alright. Let's pick my next onboarding mission. So, yeah, we already covered that stuff. So this one we're going to get conveyor poles and conveyor belts. So belts is just belts, exactly what you think of. It's a conveyor belt. Mark 1 belt will move 60 objects per minute. Conveyor pole is just a... it allows you to extend your belt in segments. And you can also adjust the height, so you don't have to have everything on the ground. You can elevate it, and then you can walk underneath the belts. And then 3 more inventory slots, so that'll be handy. Select milestone. Needs 10 concrete, I already have that, so give you that. And then you're going to want 75 iron plates and 20 cables. So I might be able to make the cables now. There we go. I'm going to make one more. Give you the cables. Cables done. I need 75. And again, you can make your recipes. So O, parts. We need 75 iron plates right here. So add to to-do list. Now we're going to edit this. We want 75. Now you can individually left click, left click, left click, left click, or hold shift. Does tens. Alright, we want 75. Now it makes 2 at a time, so 76. Alright, so now we know we need 114 ingots. Alright, to make 76. Alright, so I'm going to actually pick this miner up completely. So that collected not only the miner, but everything that was inside the miner. Alright. You know what, I'm going to do all of them, because now I have 500 iron ore on me. That's plenty for my handcrafting. It's more than enough, it's overkill. I'm going to hand feed iron ore, put a whole stack in there. Now again, still doesn't have power, but we're getting there. What I want right now, well, again, up there, I'm going to build my crafting bench up there. Now for copper, I'm also going to want a smelter and a constructor. So we need a smelter to turn the copper ore into copper ingots. We need a constructor to turn the copper ingots into wire. And then, if I want, another constructor to turn the wire into cables up there for the copper. Concurrently, I'm going to want another smelter for iron. And I'm going to want another constructor for iron ingots. To be turned into iron rods. Alright. And then I'm going to want another constructor to turn the iron rods into screws. Okay. And then I'm going to want one for limestone into concrete. And you know what? I'm going to want to do the other limestone to concrete. And I'm going to want to do the other half of the iron rods. So that'll be that. So this should be everything I need for early game. Yeah, that looks about right. Well, I mean, short of the copper. The copper needs to be expanded, but for a bare minimum, to finish up my iron early game and to have a minimal copper footprint, this will be sufficient. Crafting bench up there. I'm going to add to the list just so it's on my list again. Yeah, alright, that should be fine. So, that's my shopping list right now. Me just planning ahead. So, the idea behind all these smelters and constructors that I added is, I have 3 iron nodes. 1, 2, 3. They are normal. Each one of these iron nodes are normal. right? So I'm going to tap into one of these with a miner. It's going to produce iron ore automatically. It's going to get belted because I now have access. Oh no, once I finish this onboarding level, I'll have access to belts. So the belts will feed the ore into the smelter. The smelter will make ingots. Ingots will get fed into the constructor. The constructor will make plates or rods. And then if it's making rods, it'll feed into another constructor to turn those rods into screws. So that's the idea. I want to have smelter, ingots, constructor, plates, then another smelter for ingots, going into another constructor for iron rods, and then that constructor for iron rods going into another constructor for screws, right? So there's smelter 1, 2 constructors. But then I got limestone up there, which I want to turn into concrete, so that's another constructor. Then I got more limestone over here going into another constructor for concrete. Then I got the copper up there going from copper ore into ingots in a smelter. Then the ingots into wire in a constructor, and then the wire into cables in another constructor. So that's what the whole shopping list is. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's just planning ahead rather than running around like, what do I do? You just plan. So we're going to start small with what's here and maybe the concrete. We're just going to fill out our shopping list. So I have tons of iron ore, no copper ore on me. Okay, so let's start with that. We're going to head over to the copper because I need wire and cables and whatnot.